Mabuhay! On behalf of the Embassy of the Republic of the Philippines in Warsaw, I have the honor to welcome you all to our virtual celebration of the 123rd anniversary of the Proclamation of Philippine Independence. Allow me to convey our warm greetings to our friends in Poland who are in government, business, academe, and in the cultural sphere, to our dear colleagues in the diplomatic corps and their families and staff, and of course, to our dear kababayans, members of the Filipino community. Inspired by the recent innovative ways of commemorating momentous events with due regard to health and safety, the Embassy has undertaken this virtual project so that you could all join us as we commemorate this milestone event in our country's history. Every year, Filipinos around the world gather together and celebrate with patriotic fervor the 12th day of June 1898, which marked the end of 300 years of foreign domination and the beginning of freedom and independence for the Filipino people. For this year, the theme of our national commemoration is entitled Spirit of Freedom in Unity and National Healing, or in Filipino language, Diwa ng Kalayaan sa Pagkakaisa at Paghilom ng Bayan. These words encapsulate the resolve of the Filipino people to heal and win this war against the pandemic with courage, sacrifice, and perseverance in the undying spirit of bayanihan, of working together. Despite the adversities and difficulties, the Filipino people also remains optimistic and confident in ourselves and in the capacity of the global community to share and cooperate with one another so that everyone will benefit and overcome this pandemic and no one is left behind. It is this indomitable spirit, this enduring resilience, and this undying faith which are the characteristics of our revolutionary heroes in the past and are also abundantly present in our present-day heroes. These modern-day heroes include our dedicated medical frontliners, doctors and nurses, at home and abroad, as well as the rest of the estimated 2.2 million hardworking overseas Filipino workers who support their families back home. Their struggles, sacrifices, and achievements invigorate and inspire all of us Filipinos to look forward to the future when, hopefully, we can all come together again, freely and without fear, to celebrate face-to-face our hard-fought freedom and independence. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, the Duterte administration, backed and supported by the Philippine legislature, is poised to pass legislative measures aimed at fast-tracking economic reforms and a comprehensive pandemic response, which are crucial to the economic recovery program of the government. Indeed, despite the devastating effects of the pandemic, the Philippines remains on track to achieve a so-called V-shaped recovery of our economy. This quick and sustained recovery will be underpinned by an overall improved Philippine investment climate for 2021 and supported by the global rollout of vaccines to stem the pandemic, as well as by the accompanying resumption of socio-economic activities around the world. Even amidst the pandemic last year, the Philippine government had already put in place an economic strategy called Revitalizing Businesses, Investments, Livelihood, and Domestic Demand Philippines, or in short, Rebuild PH, so that our country can speedily bounce back. A critical goal of Rebuild PH is to modernize and promote key Philippine industries that have the most potential for attracting foreign investments. One of these is the IT BPM industry, which is the biggest job generator in the Philippines that employ hundreds of thousands of young, highly educated, and skilled Filipinos each year. Backed by this rich local talent pool and a vibrant innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem, we aim to serve as a big data processing hub, providing high-value data analytics and artificial intelligence services to the world. Another is the automotive industry, which currently has 6 global assemblers and parts manufacturers, as well as the emerging electric vehicle industry, which has a production registered capacity of 150,000 units in a year. We are also being recognized in the global aerospace industry as a developing player in the industry value chain with capabilities in aerospace parts manufacturing, aircraft maintenance, and repair and aviation aerospace engineering trainings. With the full potential of these and other industries powering our post-pandemic economy, the World Bank projected the Philippines to rebound with a 5.5% growth for 2021 and 6.3% growth in 2022. We therefore believe that our economy will grow as strong as ever, boosted by the same key drivers that have enabled it to thrive in previous years. We hope that we will soon go back to the path towards becoming a more inclusive and sustained upper middle income economy over the medium term. Today's celebration once again reminds us all Filipinos of our Bayanihan spirit. Together we can, and together we will succeed. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, today's National Day commemoration reminds us that much work needs to be done. But today is also an occasion to celebrate with joy and pride our enduring democracy and freedom, independence and sovereignty, our cultural heritage and treasures, our unique identity as a Filipino. Welcome to the Philippines.
Mabuhay! Welcome to the Philippines. The Philippines is an archipelago of more than 7,000 islands populated by around 108 million people that speak 130 languages, showcasing the diversity and richness of the country's culture and heritage. Before the arrival of colonizers, these islands were home to thriving coastal communities and island kingdoms, autonomous and culturally unique, and part of the larger network of kingdoms in the region of Southeast Asia. The pre-colonial Filipinos were an outward-looking, seafaring people, actively trading with the Chinese, the Japanese, and with their Southeast Asian neighbors. A political system was in place with the barangay or villages headed by datus or chiefs, and a sophisticated culture that featured a system of writing, the Baybayin script, knowledge and skills in agriculture, metallurgy, pottery and boat building, clothing, intricate works of gold and other native arts. The story of the birth of the Philippine nation began in March 1521 when Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan and his crew stumbled onto the small island of Homonhon after crossing the Pacific and were received by the local people with kindness and generosity. That encounter would lead to 3 centuries of colonization and the consolidation of the islands, which would then be named Philippines after the Spanish king. Out of an oppressive domination, the Filipino people forged a national identity that would unite the different islands and distinct cultures into one Philippine nation. The fierce struggle for freedom culminated in the Declaration of Independence in Kawit, Cavite, on the 12th of June 1898, led by General Emilio Aguinaldo. Every year, the entire nation honors a long list of heroes, from Dr. José Rizal, Andrés Bonifacio, Melchora Aquino, Gabriela Silang, Apolinario Mabini, to Lapu-Lapu, the warrior chief who fought off Magellan in a battle that marked early resistance to foreign interference. The Philippines officially became an independent republic on the 4th of July 1946, when the United States ended its occupation and formally recognized the independence of the Republic of the Philippines. It took its place among the community of nations as one of the original member states of the United Nations and a founding member of ASEAN. Today, the Philippines is a nation that is shaped by pre-colonial indigenous and Southeast Asian cultures, influenced by Western traditions and 500 years of Christianity. It continues to develop into a modern and progressive democratic state with one of the fastest growing economies in Asia especially before the pandemic. It strives to build modern infrastructure, protect its rich maritime resources and ecosystems, promote a resilient and caring people and community. It celebrates the defining characteristics of its people: kindness and compassion, hospitality, creativity, and diversity, expressed through its varied traditions, fabrics, arts and crafts, food, festivals, languages, music and dance. This year, our celebration highlights the beauty, diversity, and vibrant energy of the Philippines through its native dances.
Friends, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us in our virtual celebration. Before I end, may I also invite you to watch the Philippine Independence Day 2021 video entitled Lessons for a Changed World, the Legacy of the Indigenous People of the Philippines. This production aims to honor the independent spirit of our indigenous peoples, as well as the traditional values that have allowed them to survive and integrate with the bigger world while remaining firmly rooted in their identities and collective memories.
In celebration of the 123rd anniversary of Philippine independence, and in commemoration of 2021 as the year of Filipino pre-colonial ancestors, the Philippine nation presents a gift to the world. A gift that focuses on the innate strength of Filipinos who have remained grounded in tradition. And rooted in their strength. The indigenous peoples of the Philippines. Their culture, their struggle, and the direction they have pursued. These are their stories.
Dear friends, on the occasion of the 123rd anniversary of the Proclamation of Philippine Independence, let us all together say, Mabuhay ang Pilipinas! Mabuhay ang Pilipino!